Okay. Aloha, everyone. Welcome to the Caring Caregiver Show. I'm your host, Savia Makalena, the founder of Gimme a Break, a nonprofit organization that's caring for caregivers, and we're here to bring back the joy of caregiving. Each week, we help you caregivers, all of us caregivers, to survive. And by the way, did you know? Let me get my. There we go. Okay. Did you know that November is National Family Caregiver Month? Right? This whole month, it's all about you. It's all about caregivers. I know there's a lot going on in the world right now, but you know what? We're going to reclaim this month. This month is not about everything else out there. It's about you. It's about caregivers, and it's about our sacrifice and the need for support that we have. So that's going to center us and ground us to concentrate on all of those positive things we can do for caregivers this month. And of course, on top of that, Gimme a Break uses this month to celebrate our Caregiver of the Year contest. Our Caregiver of the Year contest is really all about creating awareness. It's about you sharing your story. It's about sharing that story with other caregivers, inspiring other caregivers to help them not feel so alone, helping you to know you're not alone, that there's others out there that are traveling that same journey you're on. You know, sometimes we think that we're walking or we're swimming out in the middle of the ocean as a caregiver all alone. But you know, we're actually on a caregiving cruise ship. And there's a million of us on there. And we're just a bunch of caregivers, and we're all on there together. And we need to keep supporting one another, especially throughout this month. So enter the contest. Just share one paragraph about your story as a caregiver, and know that what you do is creating awareness and giving caregiving a voice. And we really need that in this time. Boy, we need to really say, we are here, we are here, we are here. Caregivers, we are working way too hard. We need to get support for caregivers, and we need you to help us. So share your story, enter the contest. Hey, you could win some fun prizes. And if you're here locally in the state of Hawaii on the island of Oahu, you'll get to come to our gala at the end. So why not? It's an awards gala, and it's a lot of fun. And so Hawaiian styles, right? You get to come and hang out with a bunch of caregivers and enjoy and bask in the glow that you deserve. So share your story. Go to our website. Really simple. It's Caregiver of the Year contest. Enter now. And that's gab808.org /CGOY 2024. And of course, if you just go to our website, because all of you know our website, which is, gab808.org, then you just click on the button there, scroll down, you'll find it. It says Caregiver of the Year, and you can enter. So just enter our contest, share your story, and get in touch with us, because it's not about whether or not you want to be exposed. It's about creating awareness that we exist. I always call caregivers the non-served community, and we need to be served. We need to be supported. So we need your help with that. All right. And of course, in serving you, we offer you a break every week at our support sessions. Our support sessions are amazing. They are free and online. So no excuses, doesn't cost you anything. It's totally convenient. You don't even have to be on camera. You can have your video off and your earbud in, and you can just listen. And you can join a whole group of caregivers just like you. And it's a community, and you need that community. So we're here every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time. Join us. Just log on to a Zoom, open your Zoom app on your phone, your tablet, your PC, whichever, and type in the meeting ID 808-754-3787. Ironically, that's our number as well. So makes it really easy. Just go ahead, type that in, join us every Tuesday evening. In fact, last night we did a full review. Well, we only got halfway through. That's right, because the discussion was so good. But we got about halfway through our review of the Empowering Caregivers series that we're going through together right now. So if you want to be empowered as a caregiver, join us next Tuesday. And we'll go through the second half of this review, and we'll give you some tips on how to empower yourself. Maybe some things you didn't quite think of. But if they help you, that's all that matters. And if it helps us survive our caregiving journey, that's what's important. Remember, only 50% of us are going to survive. So we have to change that statistic. I would love to sit here and say that 100% of caregivers survive their journey. That's our goal. All right. Now, the Caring Caregiver Show is sponsored by Givers Guides online magazine. Thank you, Givers Guides. This is the Caregiver's Guide to Caregiving. It is written exclusively for caregivers from a caregiver's point of view. In fact, you can check out this month's issue, which I didn't put up. Sorry about that. Didn't put that graphic up today. That's okay. You can see it and just go to the website, giversguides.com. It's there. You'll see a picture of my mom. And, it's a tough picture for me to put up, but I put it out there because I think you all can see your own Carrie in that picture, and you can sense the feeling that what we go through. And later in the show, I'm going to share a little bit of my story with you. So just know that all the profits go, when you subscribe, all the profits go to support Give Me a Break and caregivers anyway. So again, none of us are paid to do this. We're all volunteers. But we just need to pay the bills. So help us pay the bills. All right. And this is episode 5. Woo, man, this season's going by fast, of season 13. And we've been sharing your stories, our stories, all of it. You don't want to miss a single one. And so let's just get on with the show. We have to have our mindful moment. And I'm super excited about this whole season. This has been such a wonderful addition to the show, and I really enjoyed it. And my heart thanks to Body, Brain, Yoga, Tai Chi for joining us. They really do. They go beyond the traditional methods, and they offer holistic approaches to multiple Eastern disciplines. And so they're doing their brain exercises. I want to bring on Kat. Hi, Kat. How are you?
Hi, Savvy. How you doing? And hello to all the caregivers out there. Thank you again.
So happy to have you. So let's go right into it. Go right ahead. I'm going to turn it over to you, Kat.
All right. So let's do our little brain break here, and I hope that this is something you can do anytime. I'm aware that some of you are only on audio, so I'll do my best to be as descriptive as possible. So first, let's just relax the brain and the mind. But a simple exercise that we do all the time is use your fingertips and just tap it on the top of your head. And don't forget to breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Typical breathing is inhaling fresh energy through your nose, exhaling any tired, stagnant energy out through your mouth. Now, with your fingertips, you can start to move your fingertips all around your head. You don't have to only stay on the top of the head. You can start the side of the head, back of the head. And as I mentioned before, my favorite spot is at the hairline, where the back of the head meets the neck. So you can even tip your head down and tap with your fingertips all along the hairline. It's my favorite, and it feels so good. Tap behind your ears. Okay, great. So just about a few seconds, 30 seconds or so, and then don't forget to sweep down your head from your forehead, down your head to your neck. Okay, and then shake out your hands and release any stagnant energy from your hands. And now we're just going to use 2 fingers on each side, your index and middle finger, and on your temple, which is on the side of your eye. Can you just slightly tap on the side of your eyes? And don't forget to have a beautiful smile on your face as you tap your temples. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. And it's okay if you feel like closing your eyes for a few seconds. Go ahead and do that. Relax your jaw. So smiling also helps us relax the tension in the mouth. Try not to clench your teeth. Okay, next spot is going to be right behind the ear. So let me show you right here on the little bit of a bone that sticks out right there behind the ear, and tapping with your 2 fingers, index and middle. That feels really great. It just feels so good. Breathe in through the nose, out to the mouth, relaxing the facial muscles, facial joints, and certain acupressure points that help relax the brain. Okay, next, last area is your jaw. So you can feel your mandibular joint as you press. Sometimes it clicks a little bit. So again, with your 2 fingers, tap your jaw, not too hard. Smile, relax. Okay, good job. All right, sweep down your face again, from your forehead down your hair to your neck. If you want to sweep down the back of the ears, even at your jaw, your temple, just sweep backwards like you're washing your face. And shake out your hands. Now rub your hands together. We have just about a minute and a half left, so I am going to do a short energy meditation. So even if you can't see me, just rub your hands together like you're making a fire or keeping your hands warm. Rub in between your fingers. And then we're going to rub behind the hands. It's like you're washing your hands. But imagine you're washing your hands with energy. Okay, now we're going to shake the hands as fast as you can. Shake all your fingers. And then we're going to clap 20 times. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Rub your hands and let's do our short energy meditation. We call it energy ball. So now after you rub your hands, just place your hands in front of your chest about maybe 6 inches apart and just concentrate between your palms. You can close your eyes. You may feel like a tingling sensation or a little bit warmth between your two palms. And now we're going to do the meditation piece where we gently push the hands together very slowly. So let's say 1 inch in 3 seconds. And then pull back 1 inch in 3 seconds. And just repeat the motion, pushing your hands very softly together and gently pulling them apart about 1 inch. And you may be able to feel like a magnetic feeling between your palms. And that's a great sign of energy flowing through your body, and a lot of good energy is flowing for relaxation of your mind and brain. Okay, now rub your hands together and clap 5 times this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then shake your hands out and you're all done with your 5-minute brain break. I hope that gave you some good tools for your day.
I love this. Thank you so much, Kat. See you again next week.
Thank you,
Aloha.
Sadie. Aloha.
Wow. That's it. My brain's exploding. I could feel so much energy. I love this. And I just love, I'm going to miss it so much when we're off season. So thank you so much, Kat, for doing that. And wow, it's just an amazing thing. Tune in next week. You'll get more brain exercises. Let's go on with the show. I met my next guest at the senior fair that we had recently. And when I saw what they do, I just knew I needed to bring them on the show, and especially to share with you caregivers, because I know this was something I really needed. I needed this when I had both my parents, and I had no idea that there was anything like it. So I know I'm teasing you, right? And so especially when it comes to safe accessibility. So let's bring on my next guest. Please welcome. I'm going to say it correctly. Katia, right? Please welcome Katia Garel. Actually, she goes by Kat as well. Hi, Kat.
Yeah.
So thank you, Katia, right?
Yeah, or Cat is fine. Cat.
Great,
So we just
great.
had
So you're
Cat
my
from Brain Health.
Yes,
Cat squared today. We're happy to
it
be
is
here.
Cat squared today. I was just about to say that. I love it.
Yeah, I'm feeling energized and happy to be here.
Thank you. I'm so happy to have you here. And so I always ask my guests to share your caregiving story. So please share your caregiving story with us.
Yeah, I'm an occupational therapist. I'm a healthcare provider. And for probably a decade, I did traditional occupational therapy, working with clients, patients, and caregivers, usually finding somebody kind of at their worst. Usually they're recovering from some kind of injury, some kind of disease process, and to find yourself working with an occupational therapist, usually something not very good has happened. We focus on independence, and functional tasks. So a physical therapist would help with walking, stairs, maybe a little bit of transfers. An occupational therapist would try and move that into functional tasks. So feeding, dressing, toileting, bathing, transfers. And so that's where the caregiver piece comes in, especially when we find our loved ones who have a need that is outside of what they can do on their own. An occupational therapist might work with the patient and or their caregiver to really figure out, okay, what's the way to make that person as independent as they can be.
Yeah.
And then to just kind of push further, my journey as an occupational therapist moved into this disconnect of us in the healthcare setting where we're really good at telling caregivers what they need to do for discharge to get the house ready. So we're really good at saying, okay, well, so your loved one's in a wheelchair or having difficulties, so go ahead and get some grab bars installed, widen the doorway, get a ramp, maybe a curbless shower, and then we discharge and send our patients and their loved ones on their way to recover at home, to find a contractor, to find funding, to get a
Yeah.
permit, to talk to their landlord, to
Right.
be to basically this whole plethora of tasks. And so when I moved from working in a hospital setting to a rehab setting to a home health setting, I oftentimes would see at that time that our caregivers or our patients were unable, for a variety of reasonable reasons, were
Yes.
unable to get these home modifications done.
Right.
And then we would have the
Yeah.
patient get readmitted to the hospital, or worst case, the caregiver also gets injured because they're trying to help their loved ones in a home setting that
I love
isn't
that you
set up
said
for
that. I
them.
say that all the time. I say, there's so much out there to prevent our seniors from falling or those who are already sort of in that injured state or aging state, but no one really notices that the caregiver is a potential risk as well. So thank you for that. Yes,
That's right. That's
absolutely.
right. And so that's why we, myself and another occupational therapist, Damien Sempio, who's not able to be here today, we started Thrive for Life. We're in our 22nd year as occupational therapists. But in 2011, we decided, let's start a business that follows our patient and their caregivers from start to finish. So yeah, we will make the medically necessary recommendations, but we're not going to stop. We won't close that case out until the recommendations made are completed. And so that's where Thrive for Life started.
I love that because it's not just here's a product, buy it, okay, bye, come again someday. You don't. You actually walk hand in hand. You do an evaluation. I was looking at your website where you actually sit down and put a floor plan out and say, listen, this is what's going to help. This is what's needed. And I think that one of the things that now I can say what drew me to you guys was when I saw you at the fair and I saw your information, I went, oh my goodness, you have an elevator. And I know it seems really like something crazy and outlandish, but it was exactly what I would have needed. My father ended up falling down a full flight of some 20, 25
Oh,
stairs
yikes.
and broke 3 ribs. And he
Yikes.
became bedridden. And I became a caregiver virtually within a week's time. A week before that, my mother had had a stroke. So within 1 week, my whole life changed and I became a caregiver. And I always said to them, we should have an elevator for you. You shouldn't be going up and down those stairs. And, we say it and we say it and we say it. And then when I saw that there was actually something that could be done, I was like, I needed this. And I think there's other caregivers who probably need that. And not that I'm trying to say everybody should put an elevator in their house, but if it becomes something that can be affordable, that can be worked into your floor plan, then why not explore
That's
that
right.
option? Yes.
That's right. And the cost of a care home would be the alternative option. If mom and
Right?
dad can't go up the stairs, the cost of care homes here in Hawaii are in the 8 to 10,000 a month range. So it's something to consider. A few things that we have a difficult time with is really encouraging our loved ones to consider accessibility changes to their home
Yeah.
before the fall.
Yeah.
It's oftentimes after the fall that they're open to it because they see the repercussions of
Yeah.
it. So
And
that's
then it's
something
too
I
late.
don't really have a solution for that, but that's something that we come across
Yes.
pretty regularly. But as healthcare providers, I'm not here to push that elevator because there
I
are
know.
other options. Yeah,
Right.
but there are other options
There are a
available.
lot of
Cheaper,
other
cheaper
options.
options.
And that's the whole point, is that don't let that shut you down. I should have looked at other options as well. And I wish I had somebody that held my hand, because then when I also had my mother, who's now in her final stage of dementia, and she was with me, it was how many times is she going to fall till the final fall, and she became non-ambulatory. And so,
Yikes.
those things, just that evaluation that you give is to protect our loved one and to protect ourselves. I was exhausted.
That's
I
right.
wasn't even thinking about whether I could get up and down or stand up, or whether I would slip and fall. So again, that's why I love that you said that.
Well, that's right. And the other piece to the caregiving journey is a caregiver frequently is not listened to by their loved one. And so we can be the squeaky wheel and tell our mom and dad that they need this and
Yeah.
it's time, and they're just not going to listen. An objective medical healthcare professional like myself can closely push them to that realization. But I also work hand in hand with their healthcare provider, with their doctor, with their primary care provider. And so oftentimes they won't listen to their family or friends.
But they'll
They
listen
will
to it, don't you?
start to listen to it from me, but then I loop in their a medical doctor. And this is where, again, I don't discharge. I will stay with them. So it might take the contemplative phase. It could take 6 months, 9 months, a few years for them to be ready. And oftentimes it is sadly after the fall. But
Right.
I enjoy working with that nuance of really building trust and then working with their healthcare provider and letting them know, look, they're at risk for falls. We
Yeah.
need to act now. So I'll pause there and
Yeah.
have you ask some more questions.
Yeah, no, I just can't help this. Again, this is why I wanted to bring you on the show, because caregivers need to hear this. There is help out there, and there's support out there, and there's a heart of a caregiver in CAT. And I think that's super important that they care at Thrive for Life. They care that you do thrive, and they care that they'll stay with you the whole journey. I mean, it's just, this is, again, you can see why I was impacted. And so
Yeah.
that's why I wanted to share it with all of our caregivers. Was there anything else? I know there was something else that we had talked about.
Well, I mean, one of my other areas that I enjoy looking at is quality of life, not only of our clients and our patients, but the quality of life of our caregivers. And so what we like to do at Thrive for Life is we do a pre and post assessment of not only of our patients, but what we want to be able to demonstrate for future caregiving funds that might become available is that home modifications not only improve the quality of life of our clients, but of the caregivers. And so those are the kind of stories we wanted to talk about today, was how home modifications that we've done have impacted caregivers that we've worked with.
Awesome. And you have one of those stories?
Yeah. I mean, I have
Let's
a
share
handful
that.
of those stories. Yeah, we have one story of a husband and wife that were on the Big Island. And if you do go to our website thriveforlife.com, there is a blog icon, and you can click on there and get some stories about some of our cases. But this one is a client whose his wife wanted to return to work. Her husband had ALS, a lateral ALS. Lou Gehrig's disease, which is a degenerative disease, and her husband was having difficulty getting in and out of bed. He had some upper extremity control, and we were actually able to install this really incredible piece of equipment. It's called a ceiling track that we were installed in the bathroom at the toilet and the shower, and then it tracked all the way to his bed.
Oh,
And
wow.
he had the ability to push the button and bring the motor to him in bed and bring the machine down to him, and it would actually pick him up. Sounds kind of outrageous, but we got him
No.
independent to the point where he could pick himself up using the control of the ceiling track and eliminate the need for his wife to manage his bathing and toileting. She actually was able to return to
Wow.
work. Yeah. which is just,
Wow.
it's just so impactful. And she knew that he was safe. It saved money as far as caregiving costs if they were going to pay for a caregiver, or she was able to return back to work. Prevention of injuries for not only his wife but also for him. And she was transferring him in and out of bed, and just, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. See, that's that safe accessibility, that peace of mind, you know, and it gives a little bit of independence to the carry, but it also gives that, your shoulders go from here to here as a caregiver, and you know that they're safe, and being able for her to go back to work with almost 70% of caregivers losing their jobs because of caregiving, that's a big plus.
Mhm.
And to be able to have her independence as well, as he was able to have his. So I think that's an amazing story, because the effect is positive for both the caregiver and the carry. So yeah, what a neat thing. I would love something like that for my mom. That would have been great. That would have
That's
been
right.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. A couple other stories recently about, probably, I think it was earlier this year. We were approached by a health plan, coupled with a federal program called Going Home Plus. Going Home Plus, you can Google it. They provide financial support, and I hesitate to say that in all cases because there will be red tape, but for somebody who's been admitted to the hospital, I believe it's over 60 days, it might be in the 90-day range, but they want to return home, but they have needs. So Going Home Plus will do some simple things like paying first and last month's rent, for example, because if somebody's been in the hospital for that long, maybe that's an issue for them. But what we were reached out by the son of a patient that had been in the nursing home for over 2 years, and she wanted to return home. He wanted to begin caring for her, but there was a need. There were stairs at the front of the property and a threshold to enter into the shower. And Going Home Plus and the health plan worked together, as well as with the care home, or it was a nursing home, funded us to do our assessment, identify what's the most cost efficient solution. How can we get a ramp on this property that's going to work for the son? And then equipment that would allow him to be able to not dependent carry her into and out of the bathroom. He said
Wow.
once he could get those pieces of equipment installed, he was ready to bring his mom home. And that's exactly what we were able to do. And
Wow,
it was
that's
just,
amazing. And I think that's too, the thing is that's the big stopper, right? I can't afford this. I can't afford this. But you really helped to find a way for them to be able to afford it and to be able to get support. And I just, again, caregivers, you're not alone. There are actually businesses out there like Thrive for Life that care enough to help you with all of that. And like you said, you work with this wonderful company, as well as with their medical insurance, and try to find a solution. We've got so many problems out there. So finding people that are trying to find solutions, especially for caregivers, what an awesome thing. Thank you. Thank you
that's
for
right.
what you do. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys can get a hold of Kat and anyone there, and Damien will probably be there as well. Thriveforlife.com, or call them at 808-797-2590. So that's thriveforlife.com and 808-797-2590. What an amazing thing you are doing. And thank you for making time to share that with our caregivers today. It's been a pleasure having you on. Thank you, Kat.
If I may, I do have one more thing I
Oh,
can share
yes,
with
I
you.
apologize.
No, it's okay. We do have a resource guide on our website as well, and that might be something that your listeners might be interested in. It's a home modification guide for accessible living, and when you click on our website, if you scroll to the bottom, you can sign up by including your name and email, or you can call us and we'll email it to you. But it basically is a step-by-step, room by room, simple guide to things that you can do in your home, that make it safer and reduce risk for falls. So I think that it's a helpful resource. There's little checklists and things you can
Yeah.
think about. So that's just something that I just wanted to reach out and let your listeners know that that's a
Oh, no, that's
resource
a great resource. Thank you. I missed that one. And so thriveforlife.com, you guys just scroll to the resource section, right?
at the
And
bottom.
at the
Yeah.
bottom, and you'll be able to kind of get that planning guide. I mean, that's a great thing. So do that. Go ahead and do that after the show. But
That's right.
thank you for sharing that. And I did put your contact information in the comments. So if you're watching this on a social media platform, you guys just look in the comments. Kat's information is there and how you can get a hold of them, and their phone number and their website and everything. So,
And then
uh,
we do have one more it's coming through the pipes. So funding is one of our biggest challenges. We did apply for a grant with the Housing, Urban and Development and Palolo Chinese Home to serve seniors, low income seniors in Honolulu that are at risk for falls by if they've had a fall in the last 6 months, a hospitalization, and or multiple diagnoses, barriers in their home, and needs home modifications. We will be adding a link on our website on where to go, but there is going to be some funding for home modifications
wow.
through an occupational therapist's lens. And that's a 3-year grant. So it's starting up in the next 3 to 6 months, and then we'll be able to serve as not as many as we would like, but it's a starting point. We're really
Yes.
excited about.
No,
It's an
that's huge.
older
That's
adult American
huge.
now.
That
Yeah.
is exciting.
Yeah.
Yes. So get a
Yeah.
hold of Kat right away, you guys. Get on the
Sounds
list.
great.
Be on the top
Yeah,
of the
get on
list.
the list. That's right. All right. Well, so lovely. I'm so
Oh,
happy to hear
thank
what
you
you do
so
and
much. And
support.
thank you for
Mhm.
sharing all of that. I really
Yeah,
appreciate you and everything you guys are doing. My heart to you. And thank you so much for caring about caregivers as well.
sure.
Great. Aloha.
Aloha.
Okay. There we go. And there we go. Hi, I'm back. Okay. Wow. Right. I told you guys earlier and I told our session last night, today's show is going to be amazing. And what an amazing contact for all of you to just get some support and get the right things in your home that you need. So again, that's thriveforlife.com, 808-797-2590. Give them a call, get the ball rolling. Nobody says you've got to put an elevator in your home, but you're going to get the things that you need to keep safe and get some peace of mind as a caregiver and also take care of you. All righty. Woo, that was amazing. I'm so stoked. And thank you so much for your heart and for sharing your story. Really appreciate that. I also, again, put it in the comments so their contact information there is there. Now, you can share your story as well. Again, I'm going to emphasize by just entering our contest. Just enter the Caregiver of the Year contest. And while you're on our website doing that, go to gab808.org. And while you're doing that, also click on the Be an Advocate button, because in doing so, you can help support a bill for caregivers. And so we are putting a bill forth to legislators this next season coming up. And we're going to ask for assistance for caregivers who have lost their job. I mentioned about 70% are losing their jobs. So we're trying to find a way to help adjust the current unemployment system to allow a caregiver to still collect unemployment when you've lost your job because of that. That's also going to help you in the long run as well, because our caregiving journey does end. And when it does, one of the hardest things is to get back in that workforce. And so you'll get the state's placement services to help you. I mean, what an amazing way to get your assistance. So please support the bill, go on to Be an Advocate and show your support. As many signatures as we can get, we appreciate all of them. So please do that, make some time to do that. And while you're there too, you can also fill out a caregiver support request if you ever need anything, because we're here for you caregivers. Whew. Now, I'm going to take it down a notch here. Since we're all sharing stories, I'm going to share mine. I'm going to share a little bit of mine. Anyway, this is a kind of an update, if you will. And so I apologize ahead of time if I do get a little emotional, but I cried the whole time writing this, and I just wanted to share this this little bit of a story for you. And this is called The Goodbye That Continues to Wave. Now, when I was growing up, it was a custom for my family to wave goodbye to anyone that came to visit, either at the door, the end of the driveway, or even at the airport. We waved till we could no longer see the person. We could no longer see their car, or we could no longer see the plane. With tears in our eyes, we waved in our hearts, and we longed to see them again. Even when we left for school or work, my mother, would stand and wave there till we were out of sight. And there was something reassuring about seeing her there and knowing that she would be there when we returned. I guess that's the power of the wave. It's a physical confirmation of love. Now, as my mother's in her final stage of dementia, she's been in and out of hospice 4 times. Each time was a goodbye. Each time I waved to her. And each time with tears in my eyes, each time I relived the grief of losing her. Each time. And though she's non-ambulatory, non-auditory, and non-responsive, I can still see her. So I wave. I wave the goodbye that continues to wave till this day, until the day that I no longer see her. Most days I'm pretty much overcome with emotion, yet I cope. How do I do that? With our weekly support sessions, with the kindness and sharing of a community of caregivers that share their strength and stories. It's my hope that by sharing my story, a caregiver reading this will know that you are not alone. We're a community of caregivers that's here for you, and we will wave you on. So take a moment to breathe and connect with us every Tuesday evening at 8 p.m. on Zoom. The journey of a caregiver may be short or long, full or part-time, easy or hard, yet it's still our journey. And we will still continue to wave goodbye, and in our hearts, we will long to see them again. So get the support you need. We're right here for you, gab808.org. I held on pretty good, I think. And you'll find that story along with all of our, most of our board member stories in the November issue of the Giver's Guides. So reminding you that this show is sponsored by Giver's Guides. Please go and get that subscription and keep it all coming. Keep this all continuing. Keep the Caring Caregiver Show going. And know that the Caring Caregiver Show is all about connecting caregivers with resources and community, with your wellness and survival as our goal. Season 13 is filled with so many amazing resources and caregiving stories, and you don't want to miss a single show. And as we continue to celebrate National Caregiver Month, next week, my guest will be Susan Amine with LifeWave, real interesting product. And also I will have Shawnee Kanjura on the Dementia Doula. I know, this is going to be awesome. So put it in your calendar, get the reminder there, put it on your phones right now. Don't miss a single episode. Tune in live every Wednesday at noon, Hawaii Standard Time for the Caring Caregiver Show. And it's okay. I know some of you can't do that and you'll miss it. That's all right. Check us out later on the caringcaregivershow.com. Oh, I just took it off. There you go. And of course, in podcast on Spotify, Apple, Stitcher, Google, any platform out there. You can listen to it in audio. And now you can even watch us on Olelo TV 53, just about a month or so after the season ends. And just check us out right now on Facebook, 808 GAB 808. And we'll always post show updates for you. And keep checking on us, keep following us on social media. And by all means, please like, follow, share, subscribe, because we need all of those voices. We need all of your stories and all of your voices to continue on doing what we're doing. But no matter what you do, stay connected. Stay connected to your community of caregivers. Whew, thanks for allowing me the time to share with you today. And take a deep breath, because we're all in this together. So in the meantime, here's hoping that you're finding more joy in your caregiving every week right here on the Caring Caregiver Show. And thanks for tuning in. Please be kind always to yourself and especially to those who are caring. Aloha, everyone. Have an exceptional week. See you all next week. Bye.